Hi, this is William from Great Affordable Watches, and today I'm gonna review the Undone Aqua. And this particular model is a customized one, and I have customized it myself. Undone asked me if I wanted to customize a watch and review it, and of course I said yes, because I thought it would be very interesting to see how extensive the customization was and the quality of the watch at the same time. So I took the opportunity, and this is not a sponsored video. Undone just provided me with a watch for me to review, so I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about it. But of course, I will keep the watch as it is customized, so I just wanted you guys to know that. Okay, let's start with some specifications. The case size is 43 millimeters, and I think it's 45 to the crown guards. The case thickness is around 16 millimeters. It's water resistant down to 100 meters. It got a sapphire crystal, a hardlex bezel insert, and a Seiko NH35 movement. Okay, we're gonna start off with some positive things about this watch. The main thing here is the customization, and I'm gonna show you later how to customize your watch because I found that pretty fun. I think the customization they are offering is fantastic, and I never seen a customization, a watch customization this extensive before, so that's actually pretty impressive. And I think the end result and the final watch exceeded my expectations, and it was exactly like I imagined it will be. And the quality of the logo and the text and also the case back is quite impressive, and I think you could really customize your watch as you liked. I went for a more classic or vintage inspired look, as I like that, but you could basically do whatever you liked. So that's pretty cool, and I think overall the watch is a pretty high quality. The case is nicely finished and all that. I saw some videos about the bezel action being very bad. I think they have fixed it somewhat, and it's not as much play in the bezel as on that video I saw. So that's a definite improvement, and it feels pretty solid. It's not as solid as some more high-end watches, but as you can see, the play is not that bad. Also, the crown action is pretty nice. I saw a video, and it was pretty wobbly. The crown was pretty wobbly, and I think they have fixed that also. So I think if they are improving the watch, that's great. But as I said, I think the customization is the main point here. But I'm not the biggest fan of the case size, and definitely not the thickness. I can't really understand why they made this watch as thick as it is. And yeah, Seiko movements, watches with Seiko movements tend to be a bit thicker. And it's also very hefty, and it got a very hefty and clunky design, and me personally, I'm not a big fan of this type of tool looking diver, but I'm sure many people like it. But I think they have missed a bit of opportunity here if they would make this watch smaller or offer a smaller case size and make it a bit more understated and a bit more dressy maybe. I think this would be a clear winner, and I think a lot of people won't like this watch because of the case and the clunkiness and the thickness of the watch, but as I said, many people will like it. But I think they have really missed an opportunity to create a slimmer and more dressy diver. If they would offer a slimmer version of the case, many more people would be interested in this watch, because I think the customization and the quality overall of the watch is very good. And if they would make the watch smaller, as I said, I think many more people would purchase the watch and find it very interesting. I'm gonna show you the customization, and gonna go through some options and probably how I made the watch. So let's switch perspective. Okay, let's take a look at the customization. Okay, we choose the Aqua, and you can see down at the bottom a couple of pre-customized watches, and you can take inspiration from them, I guess. But we're gonna start with the case color. As we can see, there are a couple of different case colors. You can choose between black, steel, gray, gold and rose gold, and of course there are PVD coating, and I choose stainless steel, of course, because I prefer that. You can also choose different bezels, ceramic, K1 glass, K1 glass with 12-hour markers, etc. The same goes for the dial. You can choose a lot of different dial textures and colors and all that. And I went for the no Cyclops dial with the vintage loom or vintage looking loom. But you can choose for example sunray dial, carbon dial, etc. So a lot of different options here. As we can see, you can also write something and put it on the dial. And I went for the text at 6 o'clock, but you can also have it at 12 o'clock. So you can basically make it a logo if you like, with only text. But I think it looks better with it at 6 o'clock. And you can also choose different hand styles and of course hand colors. You can choose sword hands, regular Mercedes hands, etc. And you can also choose the second hand and the color of the second hand. You can do a lot of different styles and really make it your own. And you can also choose the date disc color, but you can also go for a no date dial. And you also have a lot of different strap options. I think a Cordura strap would fit very nicely on this one, but I went for a brown leather strap. And here comes something very interesting. As you saw, you can choose your own picture on the case back, and you can basically choose whatever picture you like and have it on the case back, and that's a very nice option. And as you saw on my watch, the end result was quite impressive, so that's very nice. And you can do some very crazy combinations here. As we're gonna see, I'm gonna show you a example of some random customization. And as I said, it's pretty fun to just play around with it and come up with different crazy combinations and even some very, very nice looking combinations, and try and match the color of the bezel, dial and case and make something unique. So I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy when I try some different combinations, and I'll be right back. Okay, there you saw it. I think this combination looks pretty awesome actually. And now let's switch perspective again. Okay, we are back. And I must say, I think as we can see, the logo I choose is a logo I basically done myself. I took inspiration from the Great Wave of Kanagawa and the Seiko caseback, the Seiko SKX caseback, the Wave. And I think they done a really good job of recreating what I created, and the logo is basically exactly the same as the logo I made, and the details and all that is quite impressive. I think they've done a great job with that, and also the text here. I choose GAW in great affordable watches, of course. I think this is a very nice way to get something of your own, and yeah. I think the logo costs an extra $50, so that's pretty expensive, and I think the starting price is around $500 for a standard watch. So it will be a bit more expensive if you customize it. So it's a pretty hefty price, but I think it costs a lot of money to have a lot of different customization options and different parts. So I guess the price is reasonable, but I think it's a lot of money considering the movement you're getting. But of course, the Seiko NH35 is a very robust and reliable movement, so it's not a bad movement, but it's not the most impressive movement, perhaps. And also, you can add a picture to the case back, and I of course chose the original painting, the Great Wave of Kanagawa. I probably butchered that name, but I think it's a very, very nice drawing, and I think with the logo I made, I think they fit great together. And I think that adds to the diving feeling of the watch. And I think the quality of the print here is very nice. And I didn't expect such a high quality print. I think it looks great, and they nailed the colors, which is quite important for this painting. So that's nice. So you can basically customize this watch however you like, and they did a great job of replicating the look I wanted. So that's a big plus. But as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the case. I think the case is far too thick, and considering it's only 100-meter water resistant, I don't understand why they went with this case. But as I said, the finishing and quality of the watch is pretty good. If they would offer a smaller case and a thinner case as an option, that would be fantastic. And I think this, as I said, this would be a real winner if they could offer that, because as I said, I never seen such an extensive customization before, and with high quality parts as well. I think the bezel insert, the dial, and the hands and all that is of very high quality, and we all know that providing a lot of different parts is can be very, very expensive for a watch manufacturer. And I guess that's why this watch costs around $500 standard, and it may seem high, but it's pretty understandable considering the high quality parts they are offering. And the strap is of pretty high quality, and I think the strap looks quite nice. Unfortunately, when you have a clasp like this, the strap will get a bit destroyed at this part here. So I would prefer if they would offer a deployant clasp instead, so the strap won't get ruined. And I forgot to tell you that the lug width is 20 millimeters, so it's a very standard lug width in today's standard, and especially for a modern dive watch. We got a signed crown, which with a U. The crown looks like a bolt, and the crown is very nicely done. Of course, I'm gonna do a wrist shot, so let's switch perspective. Okay, I'm back, and as we can see, I think the watch wears a lot better than you would expect, and I think they said something like 45 millimeters in case size on their website, but I think that's including the pretty big crown guards. So I think the size is between 42 and 43 millimeters at the diameter. And I must say, it doesn't wear as big as you may think, but of course it wears pretty tall, and I don't have the biggest wrist. I have a 7-inch wrist, so I got a pretty average standard wrist, and I think I can wear this without a problem. But if you have larger than 7-inch wrist, I think you can wear this watch without an issue. But if you have under 7 inches, I think it would be a bit of a problem. And I'm not the biggest fan of chunky watches. I prefer more vintage inspired watches and smaller watches. But that's just me, and I think it looks very nice. And I went for a more vintage inspired look, so I think it looks very nice. But overall, I'm quite impressed, and as I said, it far exceeded my expectations when it comes down to the customization options and the quality of the parts. But the chunkiness of the case and the chunkiness of the watch in general is a big minus in my opinion, and it would be a really winner if they could provide a smaller case size. But of course that would add a huge cost to produce new parts for a smaller case size, because the old parts for this watch wouldn't fit a smaller case. But I hope they will provide a smaller case in the future, because that would be really interesting. But luckily it wears a bit smaller than you might expect, so that's nice. But of course the thickness is very present. But if you like thicker and more hefty watches, I think this is a good option, and especially if you're interested in customizing your own watch. Let me know what you think about the customization and how you would customize this watch. And go check it out, because I think even though you won't buy a watch, customize it, I think it was pretty fun to just try it out and try and customize a watch. Because you can really make them look both very ugly, very fun, and very good looking. And you can get some very nice color combinations going. So go check it out. But as I said, let me know what you think about this watch down in the comments. And do you agree with me that this watch is a bit too thick and that you would like to see a smaller version? Leave that down in the comments. And if you like this review, please leave a like. And if you didn't, then leave a dislike, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.